Hello, and welcome to another infrequent podcast, as they are. It's the joys of working full-time and trying to run a hobby on top of everything else. It's me, Jay, again, and with me is ChilliDave. Hello.
Oh, yeah, how's it going? It's nice to be back.
Yeah, it's been a while again, isn't it? So
Yeah.
quite enjoy doing these. It's one of the easier things we do sometimes, so I quite like that. We thought we'd have a little chat about our travels. Basically, more international travel, European and international travel than UK. I mean, we tend to get about the UK. That's the easy bit, but we do try and spread ourselves a bit. And I'll just sort of we'll let you guys know where we've gone, where we intend to go, why we've gone there, some of the things we got up to in the process, and go from there. And I don't think we need to do it in chronological order as such, but might as well start with the first one, that said, because the first one I think was Italy.
Italy, yeah.
Which I didn't go to. I couldn't make it at that point in time, but
right.
I know you went.
Yeah, there was a group of us that went, and then it was so. I mean, I think first of all, it's basically why did we go, and and how we got there, etc., and how we chose Italy. I mean, it was the Peperoncini Diamante festival, which is it's just south of Naples, and it's in the Calabria region of Italy, which is, as you look at the island of Italy, it's sort of on the leg of it, on the boot, but sort of on the left-hand side, sort of on the shin, that's it, on the shin. And it was, in fact, it was through Becky, one of the club members. She actually got a little house flat thing apartment out there, yeah, and then it was her that told the club about it, and then basically we sort of looked at it because it runs in September. It's for 5 days, and basically it was opened up to everyone. Yeah, not everyone, but it was opened up to a big group of people, and if work commitments and things like that, because it is a long time, 5 days, and basically it was just right. Who can go? Who wants to go? And we went.
Yeah. I mean, because I never really saw the video footage and heard your stories of it, but it looked like the entire place just shuts down for this festival.
Yeah, I think it's the Institute of Peperoncino, which is chilies to sort of the Western English speaking people. But it's actually amazing. If we'll put a link up to the video, or at least one of the videos, but. The town just goes mad. I mean, the whole town is just covered in ristras, chili ristras, stalls everywhere. They have a carnival. They have a chili eating competition. But that's interesting how that works as well, because they actually hold regional chili eating competitions throughout the year, and then they have the final at this Peperoncini Festival in Diamante, and there's it's in a piazza, I think they call it, a sort of square thing, and again you can if you want to see the videos, we've actually got footage of that, etc. But it's very different from the chili eating competitions that we run. They have I think it's 500 gram bowls or 250 gram bowls of this local chili.
It's just a diced chili, isn't
it?
Yeah,
with olive oil.
Yeah,
and bread. They're allowed to eat bread. And it is quantity. We've tried it, and a couple of our guys, Simon, he actually entered in it, that because we know the organisers, believe it or not, we tried it, and it's not hot. It's a very, very mild chili, but it's just quantity. Volume. Yeah, it's volume, and it's very different because our palate, with the olive oil, is very, very different.
Quite rich
and the bread.
as well, is it?
Yeah.
I reckon I'd have a go at that.
Oh, God.
I can do quantity.
No, actually, no, you can.
Shovel it down and have a go.
But it's absolutely amazing, and there's loads of stalls. You got Svizzid di Calabria, which is a chili sauce sort of product producer, great guy. Tried a load of his stuff. He does the super hot stuff.
They're nice products, actually. It's very clean, chili tasting. It's not a mash as such, is it? But it's like chilies and olive oil and a bit of salt and a touch of vinegar or something. Yeah. It's not much to it.
No. And then I think one of the biggest products out there is Endua,
Oh, I love that stuff.
Yeah,
love it.
Spicy sort of salami
It's like a
paste.
sausage paste. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's beautiful stuff. That you can just literally spread it on toast.
Yeah, and and it's things like that. But yeah, I mean, it's right on the coast, beautiful location, amazing time. They have a huge firework display on the Friday or Saturday night, but it starts I think on the Wednesday, and it goes on, and so it might be Saturday night. But yeah, the amazing place it is. Met loads of lovely people. Great location.
Yeah, I think there's a video of you eating a chocolate ghost pepper from there as well.
Yeah. It's quite handy. There was a seawall quite close by as well.
I'm using the term "eat" quite loosely here.
Yeah, I consumed it, kept it for a while. I think there's quite a few interesting videos. Even with a couple of other people that went. I mean, we threw a few videos together. We were staying just north of Diamante in Scilia, a place called Scilia, and the local cocktail bar. Got to love the Clifton Chilli Club. I mean, we were in there snorting chili powder and all sorts, and every night we ended up sort of adopting a dog. I think the locals they gave me a nickname as well, and I do excuse my Italian, but it's Mazzo Pazzo ChilliDave, which means I think grey badger ChilliDave or something. It's something to do with my grey hair. Yeah, amazing time.
Yeah, it looked good actually. It's something I'd like to do.
Yeah,
I'd certainly like to do. And it does look like a fantastic festival.
Yeah, because we got involved. Because we went along to the chili farm there as well. So the actual institute, the Chili Pepper Institute in Italy, they invited us and we went along.
Again, I saw the pictures of that. Yeah. It just looks like fields of chilies.
Oh, absolutely amazing.
Like we get like rapeseed here or something like that. It was just instead of yellow flowers, it was rows of red chilies. I saw it. It looked beautiful. And
because it's September, it's literally towards the end of harvesting. And there was just rows. But they made us feel really, really welcome. And we've been there a couple of times to Italy now. Love to go again. Yeah, absolutely love to go again.
Do they do like the? I don't know whether you've seen how Tabasco sauce is made.
Yeah.
And when they're picking the chilies, because the chilies of Tabasco are generally hand picked.
Yes.
But they pick the best of the best and keep them aside for next year's seeds. Do they do the same there?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, we went into a huge greenhouse where they, we went through their whole process of. I think they do. I think they're quite scientific about what they do.
Yeah, it looks fascinating. Yeah, well, one day I'll go. And that was in September, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then the following January, we booked ourselves on a plane to go to New York, didn't we?
Yeah.
To go to the second annual Hot Sauce Expo.
That's right. Yeah, and that was in
Manhattan. Yeah,
that's right. So it was on the main island of New York. And then that was an adventure. Wasn't it?
That was brilliant. That was a lot of fun. That was. I mean, that was just so much because that was actually in April when we actually flew out. So we just booked it in January. We'd booked the VIP tickets. We'd kind of gone all out, hadn't we?
Yeah.
Got ourselves a hotel and whatnot. And
again, I mean, it's all self-funded as well. So we, you guys out there. I mean, we do pay for it out of our own money. It's not, we don't have sort of an earning from the Chili Club. This is years ago when the club was a lot smaller, and we did. I was in the army as well, still, wasn't I?
Yes, I think you were.
I would have been. Yeah. So I had to juggle that. And you were full time working as well, which we still are. Yeah. But I've since left the army. But it's juggling that, and it's a hobby. So. Yeah, we'd like to go everywhere, but we can't. But then these opportunities come up. But New York, I mean, it all started, didn't it? Because we've done a video about that, didn't we? Sort of a 4-part.
Yeah, we did our little adventure, really, didn't we? So
But then we did reviews as well.
We did.
Remember? We flew via Virgin Atlantic, didn't we?
We did, yeah.
And
they were brilliant.
Yeah,
they were brilliant. Yeah, that was it. Yeah, because we needed permission to film on the plane because you're not supposed to film on planes.
That's right.
Not only were they obliging about it, they wanted to get involved. And we actually had the I don't know what a politically correct term is anymore. I want to say stewardess, but apparently that's not allowed. The air hostess, the flight attendant. Oh yeah,
whatever's PC now.
Whatever's PC. I'm not trying to be anti-PC, but I can't keep up with it anymore.
But this was, I mean, we instantly know what we're talking about. But we actually did a couple of reviews in flight.
Yeah.
So
sat in our seats.
Yeah.
We had the camera clamped to the back of the seat in front of us.
Because we had to ask everyone that was in view.
Yeah.
We had to get their permission first. Yeah. Say, like, this is what we're doing. Are you? Because then if anyone didn't want to, you can't ask them to move seat because they've paid for their seat. But they all oblige and they're like going thing. But we did keep the camera angle as small as we could, so we didn't encompass too many people.
If I remember correctly, we reviewed I think it was a Cajon's
chocolate.
No, I don't think it was. Was it El Cabaret or was it the Calavera?
Oh, I don't know. It was hot.
It was one of the. Yeah, I remember it was hot.
Because, I spent an hour, half an hour sweating in the toilet. In the toilet.
Yeah, you looked a bit grey at the end of that flight, and again, that's on the video that we did as a 4-part sort of mini doc, if you will. Yes. So, yeah, that was good. But yeah, that was great. The stewardess. Sorry, I'm staying stewardess again, but the flight attendant. She came in the shop, bought us milk on the ready. She was stood there waiting for us to finish our bit, and
she wanted to be in on it, didn't she?
She wanted to be in on it. Oh, that was brilliant, that. Yeah. So actually, I love flying with Virgin.
Yeah,
absolutely love flying with them. They are so fun and such nice people. Yeah. They're an absolute credit to the airline. We're not advertising. No, we've got no. No, I just like flying with them because it's an absolute pleasure to fly with them. So, good on them, really.
Well, please give us a free flight to New York next year. I mean, the time. I mean, we had a lovely little hotel. Well, lovely big hotel in Manhattan Island, and then we went out sightseeing. Did a bit of sightseeing. I hate sightseeing.
We made it work though, didn't we? Because I mean, if you think about it, we went to Liberty Island.
Yeah.
There's a big statue there.
Yeah.
And
the thing is, it was like because you had Alice, obviously, Jay's wife, along as well. And she did a lot of the background filming. Absolutely brilliant, and put up with us. But yeah, we went to Liberty Island. I'm not interested in the Statue of Liberty, But we went there because we thought it'd make a good backdrop for a review.
It did.
Which it did.
It did, yeah. So that was that was High River Sauce's Fufu Mama Chew.
That's right. Yeah.
So yeah, what better than to do a Reaper sauce on an island where you haven't got much water with you? So super, great idea that was.
Surrounded by water.
So yeah, surrounded by water. I want to drink that though.
And seagulls. and lots of tourists.
So yeah, we did it we did reviews in Central Park.
Yeah.
As well, that's Lucky Dog, if I remember correctly, because that's when you were asking people if you could borrow their dog for a film.
Yeah.
Which in itself did not sound remotely appealing to anyone.
I did get some strange looks.
Can I borrow your dog for a film? It's like, jeez.
It would have been good, a nice little prop.
But I'm sure, but I just don't think people interpreted your question how you wanted them to interpret
some crazy Brit coming up to you in the middle of Central Park. Excuse me, madam, would your dog like to appear in a film? And they just looked at me like again, and they just kept on walking past. I was expecting the I don't know what they call them, the park police. What do they call them over there?
I don't know, rangers or whatever.
I was expecting some of them to come over and manhandle us off the park.
Yeah.
But yeah, we walked around. We went to bars, foodie places.
We went up to top of the Empire State, didn't we? We nearly took the express elevator down via the security. Because we were going to film up there, and then that guy that came, it looked like Rocky, didn't he?
Yeah.
But built like a brick house.
Weird policy because they knew we were starting to film, and they stopped us and asked us what we're doing, and because of security reasons, we weren't allowed to film. But then, me being me, I turned around and said, so we can take photos? And he was like going, yeah. I said, so we can take as many photos as he wants? And the guy was like, yeah. So we can take thousands and thousands of photos if we want to take thousands of photos. Yeah, you can take photos, you can't film. And I was like, on the verge of my tongue going, well, actually... me being pedantic, I was like, well, actually, if you do filming, that's 24 basically photos per second, and then you end up with a film. So you're like, going, hang about, and I just looked at him, I thought,
I wouldn't argue with him.
Probably not going to argue with him.
No,
Because
yeah, and his goons with him as well.
Yeah.
And frankly, I don't think it would have troubled them just to.
well, they were going to confiscate our kit, weren't they?
They were. Yeah, we had to delete everything in front of them. Yeah.
But he couldn't get the concept of 24 photos. Obviously, you can turn into a second would make a footage.
Yeah.
Anyway, there you go.
With sound.
Yeah.
So it was that. But then obviously the main reason for going over was the expo itself, which was in this. Really, it was opposite Madison Square, wasn't it?
That's right.
In Manhattan, and we literally went in up the elevators, and I think it was just kind of jaw dropping how busy and how much was there.
Well, it was, and it was. I think one of the best things is when we were walking round. People knew exactly, not sounding sort of pedantic, but people knew who we were because we've done reviews of the sources.
Yeah.
And we hadn't done that on purpose. It's just like
No.
over the years we've done that source, this source, or whatever. But I think what was personally best for us was actually meeting.
Do you remember? Because we actually met them the night before, if you remember. So we went out. So Steve Seabury, High River Sources, the guy that effectively puts the expo together. Yeah. I'd say, come meet us for a beer at the following. I can't remember the name of the bar. No. We went there, and the next thing you know, there's the likes of, to me, what are hot sauce heroes. Yeah. So people like K-John, who I felt I just needed to kneel before him and worship him because I adore his sauces. But and then the likes of obviously Steve was there, people from Iburn. Because if you remember, wasn't it James's birthday? Something there was a burlesque night going on, if I remember correctly.
There was, yes, yeah.
There was some sort of burlesque thing. I don't know. I mean, we thought we were all going out for a drink with them, but instead we're having large-breasted women dance around. So
so the conversation was good. I'm just trying to
said.
There's quite a few people there. That was a good night.
It was a good night. I remember we had to be directed home or back to the hotel, if you remember correctly, because that's when we stopped for a Subway. I remember saying, even at like 3 a.m, going, mine doesn't taste right, and the next day, flipping out, did I feel rough as a badger's ass.
I think that's where Alice guided us home as well.
Yeah, it was.
She said going left, right, down the pavement.
Just follow me.
And it was literally that sort of, right, Alice knows where she's going, we'll just sort of keep her in sight.
Yeah,
but back to the expo rough. Though. I think, it was great to meet the few faces the night before, but then to go into the event. It's different because it's all under roof as well. So a lot of the English sort of hot sauce or sort of chili festivals are all outside in big open expanses. Yeah. So you get that sort of encapsulated noise trapment. So noise is trapped inside and everything like that.
Well, it creates a hell of an ambience.
Yeah.
No, it's very, very good. But it was awesome. We met Ted Barris there as well, didn't we? Also, we did I did the 9.1 million plutonium Mad Dog stuff. So I remember being in pieces with that. That really did a number on me. I wasn't feeling well from the night before, and then I had some reporter guy trying to interview me for some New York paper about what's going on, and I just couldn't even talk properly.
Well, I think it started off really bad anyway, because we went round and sort of met Ed Curry, and then and this was probably within the first half an hour of being in the event, and he brings it out as Reaper venom.
Yeah, it's just an ethanol extraction of Reaper.
And it was probably 11 o'clock in the morning and getting given Reaper venom.
I know, but the way he talks about it, he makes it sound like it's some refreshing cocktail. Ooh. It's very clean. It's got that real beautiful flavour. And it was clean, but jeez Louise, and it's one of those, you swallow it and your mouth goes, there's a bit of heat in there, and that heat it's like somebody then just switches on a blowtorch. And that again, I had to put my hands on my knees and sort of lean forward and just think,
it was a good festival, and going round and seeing all sorts of different hot sauce producers.
We filmed with Ed as well, if you remember.
Yeah, we did that.
So that was really good. Part of his Pucker Butt the movie or whatever it was filmed for. Because that was after it was closed, wasn't it? I think it was on the Sunday. Yeah, was the last day, and when everybody cleared out the auditorium, we filmed because we were somebody was filming us being filmed as well.
That was right, yeah.
So it was kind of weird, but that was really good. Nice little backdrop on looking down into New York with sort of cabs going by and whatnot. And that's when we did the Reaper squeezings.
That's right, yeah.
Which again, I don't think we had anything mild that day, but no, actually, I think the mildest thing I tried that day was actually it's a really good sauce from Kat and Jeremy, Big Fats.
Big Fats.
Yeah,
yes.
So a brilliant couple, absolutely awesome couple, but they know spice.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I don't mean chili, I mean actual spices. They understand spices and they use them brilliantly well in their products. So yeah, I really enjoyed that. And that's where we met Lucky Dog, obviously. We met Scott for the first time.
That's right.
And
Grinders.
Grinders, like say Iben with their lollipop. You remember 2 million Scoville lollipops? Like, oh, jeez, that's hard work. Silverleaf with their fantastic sort of garlics and. Well,
that's when I first got into garlic, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, no.
So I really stayed away from garlic, and then I'll give it a try. Don't get me wrong. I'm not one of these people that go, I don't like that.
Yeah.
I won't go. I want an English breakfast. I want this. I go, and I thought, right, I'll try that. And actually, I was like, oh yeah,
good.
And
they're buttery. They're gorgeous.
Yeah, and I bought because got a mate who I know loves chili and garlic, and so I think I bought at least a jar or two back.
Yeah, you did,
There's presents and things like that, but it was. I did like that festival.
Yeah, I did. Well, we got to witness the world record being set, didn't we, for most Reapers eaten? No, quickest number of Reapers eaten.
Yeah,
I think it was, wasn't it? You had to eat, was it something like 5 Reapers, and whoever ate 5 the quickest?
Something like that, yeah. Because they've changed it now, hasn't it?
They've changed it, yeah. So it was the most inside of a minute or something this time, the second time we went.
That's right, yeah.
Which we can touch on in a bit. But so that was quite fascinating to watch. And they have the world's hottest pizza challenge and that pizza, and then the tacos as well. I saw. Now the tacos were made up by Johnny from Heartbreaking Dawns.
Yeah.
Again, great sauces. The guy's mad as a box of frogs, but lovable with it. A lot of time you'll hear him from 10 miles away. He's so loud, but
he didn't need a mic.
No, he didn't need anything really. So, but so I watched him, and I think we've got some of it on the video. But he just put chili product after chili product after chili product on top, and he wasn't holding back. And it wasn't anything mild. It was like the Am putting some Reaper venom on, which obviously we tried. He's putting on some he's spooning on teaspoons of habanero powder, a bit of Reaper powder, Heartbreaking Dawns fervour, which I think is also a Reaper sauce, and he just kept going and going. And it was starting to sting my eyes just watching him make it. So God knows how these people did it, but there was that one guy, and again we've got it on film, that was just literally just sweating into a bin the entire time because he was in pieces with it. So they certainly go all out on the hop there. But yeah, I mean the festival was just brilliant fun, brilliant fun. And it was a great networking event for us. Yeah. And I mean, our motive for going over really was to kind of go and both you and I like US sauces. To go and sort of hopefully meet some new producers, meet some of our heroes, and it was mission accomplished. Really, it was.
Yeah, networking, friends, contacts. But it's good to get out and about. I think as a club, it doesn't matter whether it's you, I, anyone else, but anyone representing the club. They go abroad or wherever or travel. It's great because you're networking and you're meeting people and people are putting a face to and meeting people that they see us on the social media and things like and it is good to meet and and I think that's if it's too easy just to sit somewhere and hide behind maybe a camera or whatever and not go anywhere. I think you've got to make an effort and go out and try new stuff and actually go to festivals, events, whether
for as long as you can afford to do so.
Yeah, but we don't even have to.
In that respect.
Yeah, we don't have to travel abroad. I'm not saying blimey. I'll tell you what, I'd love to just travel and be travelling all the time to festivals, events all around the world. Predominantly it's the UK circuit that we go around on that, but it's always great. When you do get the opportunity.
Well, we're getting the invites. That's a nice thing. So we're getting the invites to go because obviously we want to look at Finland. Yeah. So we've been getting invites for the last couple of years to go over. Yeah. So And at some point, I would very much like to do it.
Definitely.
I want to see Scandinavia.
Yeah, that's where's that? That's in that town begins with T.
Oh yeah, till I can't remember now. But yeah.
But yeah, that'd be a good one to go to.
Yeah.
But again, like you say, it is. We do get invites. We've got a couple of invites from other places, but it's. We've got to fund it.
It's time and money, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, exactly. Well, wow. We'd love to be in a situation where there you go. There's your tickets, hotels, and that. I mean, sometimes some people, some organisations, they do help out and contribute.
Sort of sponsorship, so to speak, haven't we? But we've never asked for it. It's just a case of people. I think enough to offer.
Yeah, I mean, one of the other places that sort of reminds me is. We didn't go to a festival or anything, but we went to the island of Tenerife, which is the Canary Islands, which is off the
owned by Spain, isn't it?
Yeah, west coast of Africa.
Yeah,
and we went out there to see a chili farm. We were invited out there, so a few of us went out there. Again, we did a sort of like one of those little video sort of, I don't know what, little mini documentary sort of 10-minute video.
Yeah.
But that was amazing to go, and to be invited out there. And from the UK, it's fairly easy. I think it's about 3.5 hour flight. And the chili farm is literally just outside Playas de las Americas and Las Cristianas.
Yeah, it's on the south part of the island, I think.
Yeah, and they got really, really good conditions there. It's actually their farm's actually in an old volcanic crater, so it's Crater of the Kings. I'm just trying to remember what it is. Caldera de something, I think it is. So whatever. But that was Daz and Sam. Yeah, and we've met them a number of times. Like they've been across the UK and we've seen them at UK Festival.
Oh, we saw them in Holland, didn't we? Yeah.
Well, exactly. Yeah, we didn't know.
We saw part of them in Holland.
Yeah,
I think they had a couple of shandies.
Yeah, that's right. We were in Holland a few months ago. Well, we didn't know they were going to Holland, but we were at a chili festival in Holland, and then suddenly those two characters, lovable characters, and there they were. We're like, wow, So we travelled from England to Holland. And they'd obviously travel from Tenerife to Holland to go to the same event.
It's good. I mean, they again, I've only seen the pictures. Haven't been able to. I've been to Tenerife, but not to their farm. And it looks quite a nice little setup. I mean, they sent over some chilies to us, and the actual quality of them, they're spot on.
Yeah, we've used some of them in chili eating competitions.
Yeah, we have. Yeah,
because they've got such a good growing year there. I mean,
they got the climate, haven't they?
Oh yeah, I mean it's 20 degrees Celsius now, and it's in December. And they got really nice. But whilst we were there, we went fishing, swimming, obviously. We did all sorts whilst we were there. Went and visited the farm a couple of times. It's probably about an acre, but it's great to see and go and visit sort of a chili farm in another. So visited chili farm in Italy, visited chili farm in Tenerife, obviously done UK ones. Want to see some more UK ones.
Yeah, absolutely. We did. One of the ones that's quite interesting for us last year was Germany.
Yes.
So that was really interesting because that was an old outside swimming pool, wasn't it?
That's right.
Which to me was the longest chili eating competition I've ever witnessed.
Oh yeah.
By longest, I mean, what was it? A couple of hours?
Yeah, it was over an hour.
That's well over an hour.
Yeah.
Well over an hour. I've never seen anything like it.
I think it started with 50
contestants.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they were all in the swimming pool. In effect, it was an empty swimming pool. It's not like they were floating in water, but there was an image. That just went on. I mean, we actually stopped watching. You remember, we just kind of kept going back every now and again, have a little look and carry on.
It was different. I mean, I've watched sort of chili eating competitions, well, I could say all around the world, but that was definitely one of the longest and most drawn out, and there's nothing against it. Look, that's maybe the way they like it, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I mean, watching it, what you want to spend an hour and a bit? No, it was just too long and just dragged out.
No, it was long. I mean, it depends how you look at it. I mean, yeah, from audience retention, it wasn't our kind of thing.
No.
But then, if you're there for the day, I mean, the actual setting, that old sort of grassed area, and there's places to have a beer and to sit down and what. Because you remember, it was blinking hot.
Oh yeah.
Because the guys came to us first thing in the morning with some ice cold bottled water and just said, "Here, guys, this is on the house. Just keep hydrated."
Yeah, so this was in Hanover.
Hanover, that's right. Yeah, and it really was.
Yeah.
Exceptionally hot there, because if you remember, we were drinking Weiss beer from pretty much when it opened, which is, I don't know what, 11, 12 o'clock, and we were drinking it all day, but we weren't feeling the effects of the alcohol. We were just dehydrated. We were just drinking and drinking and drinking all day because we just needed liquid to sort of keep us going. But so that was a interesting festival. That very chill, very laid back.
I mean, well, the lucky thing was, and we say, look, we've been to Tenerife for Spanish, Italy. The advantage we had in Germany is both Jay and I do speak a little bit German.
I mean, speak enough German to get by, can't we?
Ich auch spreche ein bisschen Deutsch. Not showing off, but it does come to an advantage. Because we went out for drinks later, didn't we? We met up with
the guys from Hot Sauce Import.
That's right. Yeah.
So Soren and Martin. That's right. Yeah. So they were like, "Yeah, do you guys want to go out for a beer?"
Yeah.
And they said, "Meet us." They gave us the location, didn't they? They texted me and said, "Oh, here's the location." It was it happened to be a British bar called Jack the Ripper's.
That's right.
And they chose that specifically because they knew they had cider. And they knew that we liked cider, which I thought was a really nice touch. Albeit Strongbow, but there you go.
Yeah.
But do you know what? Again, we were so thirsty. If you remember, that first pint just went boom, down, gone. Yeah. But then that was a late night. Yeah. To be honest, that kept going because I think we were in some bar at, again, sort of 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, drinking weird cocktail things. I don't even know what they were.
On the corner of that.
Yeah, that's it.
That's right. Yeah.
So that
flashbacks.
Yeah, that's it. I just remember the following day being at that festival and led on the bench, feeling feeling broken.
No, definitely.
It was hard going, to say the least, but. Yeah, it was a really fascinating festival, very chilled festival, that one, in Germany. So that was
nice. It was, with the trees and sort of like, as you say, the old swimming pool and everything like that. Nice little place, and that happens every year. Yeah. So that's the Hanover. Yeah. They call it Chilean Barbecue Festival, isn't it?
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
So there's obviously a bit of barbecue. And we had a bit of barbecue there as well.
Yeah, we got to make some friends as well. So that's where we met Jono, as in Crazy Bastard Sauces.
That's right.
And the guys from Pika Pika.
Pika,
well. Pepper It, the mayonnaise.
Yeah. Pfeffer House.
Pfeffer House, yeah. So all those kind of people we met, and that was really nice. And there was people that we're sort of still in touch with from time to time, which is cool. And then only a couple of months ago, we were in Belgium, weren't we?
Yes. Yeah, that was
So that was a humble little occasion, but actually it's one of those that I think's got legs. I think it's got a lot of potential to grow.
Yeah, I mean, it's their first event, and then no, it wasn't massive. There's only maybe a dozen traders or something there. It was all different,
no,
though, wasn't
it?
It
Probably a few more than that, but it wasn't massive. No, I mean, as far as there's only one. There's 3 sauce producers, 1 mash producer. I think one doing sambal, and then the rest were things like plants, pods, other cheeses. There was somebody doing a lot of cheeses with chili cheeses and stuff like that. So, but
artwork, seeds.
Yes, that's right.
That's right.
Cards.
Yeah.
Sex toys.
That's right. Yeah.
There was chili sex toys. That was interesting. Yeah. So.
Capsicum free, by the way.
Yeah. They weren't offering demos. No. So that was nice. I mean, it was. I think it's one that it was a first time festival.
Yeah.
And they did what in my head is always the right formula, which was they didn't run before they could walk.
No.
They started with something that they knew they could manage and handle, but they could grow. They needed to, and I think that's exactly what they've done. So, a lot of respect for looking at it that way, because there are a lot of people. We've been to festivals where people have kind of gone all out. God knows where they've got the budget from, and have still failed miserably with it. There are very few festivals on a large scale that have worked first time. The only one I can really think of like that is Great Dorset, which hit the ground running. But
they had a quiet year, I think. Quite a couple. I can't remember. Yeah,
but even so, and it's a big festival in sort of the chili season anyway.
Oh, yeah,
so,
definitely, yeah.
But no, it's nice because we got to hook up with Grim Reaper Foods when we were there, and we were staying in the same guest house.
Yeah, so that was in Eindhoven, wasn't it? Eindhoven? Yeah.
No. We did meet them in Eindhoven as well, but in Belgium it was in Westerlo.
Oh, that's it, Westerlo, that's right.
Because you remember we sort of went to this, we got this B&B, which we booked because it was close to the venue, but it was still in the middle of nowhere. There was no pub for miles.
No.
No shop for miles.
No, nothing.
It was just bizarre. But you know, you and I being as we are, we'd taken over a tray of cider. We were sorted for the night. And if you remember, it was us playing. Russ and Jay were playing cards all night and drinking cider. So. And then when we did go out and get food, I mean, on the first night, the rabbit dish that we had was excellent. And then on the second night, you had frog legs, I think, didn't you?
Yeah.
Chinese frog legs or something.
Chinese frog legs,
which were really good. And I can't remember. Oh no, I shared some stuff with Russ, and Jay, being vegetarian, just had a plate of sadness.
Yeah, which was full of meat.
Yeah, which is full of meat. I know. Didn't quite understand the vegetarian option. He's like, he wants vegetarian noodles or rice. Or
Belgique isn't that great.
No, so it came with bacon in it and a load of pork on top.
That's right. Yeah.
But that was
Belgique, Flemish.
I know, but we had a nice time there actually. Yeah. So I think they did very well. And that's a guy called Tom who ran it. And Tom, we'd previously met about 4 weeks before when we were in Holland. Yeah,
that's right.
For the chili festival in Eindhoven, so the Dutch Chili Fest, and that's this year especially was just bonkers busy. Was that ever full on? I mean, that I've never seen so many people. The place opens at 12.
Which one, the Holland one?
Yeah, the Holland one. Yeah. But 10:30 people are coming in and they're letting them in.
Yeah.
And it stays busy right up until 8 o'clock when it closes.
Because with that one, that's an indoor venue as well, but also they have a barbecue area out the
outside,
back. And it's in the old Philips building, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Yeah, it's old industrial area.
Yeah, so it's the old where they used to build Philips TVs and washing or whatever Philips used to build. But Eindhoven was the place they were based.
Klokkenbouw.
Yeah, so it's the whole this sort of segment of the factory, which is only a minuscule part of the old factory, because the end of being converted into a hotel, which is where we stayed. Absolutely astounding hotel.
Brilliant, wasn't it? And cheap.
And brilliant. Really good. And advise anyone to stay there. I'm just trying to remember the name of it.
Blue Collar.
Blue Collar, that's it. And then that was really good. You know, the restaurant was on the top floor, and you could look over Eindhoven. And then the venue itself, you know, had sort of three segments. You had the sort of chili marketplace, where you had all the chili stalls and, you know, seeds, foods and stuff like that. Then you had sort of the next stage, which is like where they had the stage where they were running their burger eating competitions and a bit of entertainment, and then they had like the cocktail bars in there. And then you moved outside, and it was sort of a fully tarmacked area, and that was where all your sort of American style barbecue stuff, so your hot foods and things like that. So it was I like that. It was nice setup. Yeah. And it's right next to the train station.
It was, yeah. So public transport wise, brilliant. Yeah. Because you were involved with the hot sauce judging, because they had an amateur and a professional hot sauce competition there, so people could enter their sauces and stuff. I mean, I saw some of them get turned in, and I just thought I wouldn't want to touch that.
Yeah, there was. I mean, I had a sort of chat with the organisers, because I asked how they were being produced, sort of screened. You know, and obviously, you know, home sources, they can be produced, and some of them can be, and if they're not, the correct procedures aren't followed, then they can become dangerous,
sterilised and pasteurised.
They're sort of looking into that, and but it was an honour. It was the club that was invited to judge, and you know, I just stood up to the mark and helped out. So it was good. And
I got stuck in with the burger competition. Holland's hottest burger competition. or whatever. That was good, and then subsequently won it. But it's because it's speed as well as heat, so I can do both.
But that video's also...
that's on my YouTube channel, isn't it? So, I kind of ploughed my way through that. I mean, that was a hot burger. So I had some extract I brushed into the bun. Yeah. And then had a load of fresh chilies, including a whole Reaper in there, and I think there was some yellow 7-pots and God knows what else. And it was one of those where you just got to kind of dig deep. It was hot. So apparently I should have won a miniature fire truck, but I never got it.
Yeah, so, I never did turn up.
No, all that effort for nothing, eh?
Yeah.
So it's good. But and a lot of these festivals we're all going to be going back to next year.
Well, hopefully,
that's certainly the plan, isn't it? So it's in our diary. So whether we do New York or one of the other US festivals next year, we haven't quite worked out yet, have we?
It's like we said earlier, wasn't it? We've got to work this into our sort of our livelihood,
work life, our budget, and everything else really. So
because I mean, like you said, there's Finland. One I'd like to go to is Czech Republic.
Yeah, me too.
Chili Brania. Is it called Chili Brania?
Something like that. Yeah.
That's definitely one that I'd love to go to. But it's, if we retired and this is our full, our hobby was our full-time thing and we could do it, because I'd like to go to India, to Nagaland, and go because they have a big festival over there. It's not just Europe, it's not just America.
No, there's some Australian festivals as well.
Yeah, you've got the Sydney one. Yeah. There's New Zealand, they have one now.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Okay, I used to live there, but I don't ever recall one being around when I was there. But obviously,
I think their first one was last year.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, super. Whereabouts?
I can't remember now. I don't know if it's in Auckland, maybe. But there's I think there's one in Korea. They have like a chili festival. But there are, and guys, if you're out there listening to that, if you know of any festivals, chili festivals, etc., then let the club know, because on the website we've actually got our interactive map.
We do,
which we've produced, and it's not just the events that we're going to; it's events, any chili event, as in festival thing. So that with you chaps and girls listening, is that actually, if you live in Germany, you can look on this world map and you'll see a little icon, and obviously a little chili icon. Yeah. If it's near you, then that basically is an earmark for a festival. It has all the information there, or a direct link to the website. So like the Hanover one, it have a link to the website.
Yep.
With the dates of next year, 2017, etc., and 2018, and it, always keep updated. But if you know of an event or you're an event organizer, then go onto there and have a look. It tells you how you can send us the information, because it's out there to help anybody out there in the world, to find an event near them. And I think for anyone out there, loads of you, virtually all of you, have probably been to a chili event, festival, hot sauce expo. But do go and do experience the gourmet sauces and the gourmet chili products. Don't just go to a mainline supermarket and buy a main brand. I don't want to name them, Heinz, Nando's, or whatever. Go and support and go and have a look and go and taste. Because basically, I would say virtually every stall they have out there, tasters. You can go around, you can meet the producers, you can talk to them, and
that's one of the things I loved about the US actually, is the producers all have a story and they all tell it. And it's they introduce themselves and they take massive ownership for their products, and I thought that was brilliant. And they were all saying, "Hi, I'm such and such. These are my sauces. Let me start you off with a mild one here. I've been using this chili because, and the following spices. This is fantastic with." And it's a tasting experience. It isn't just kind of dipping and trying and then you making a decision whilst talking amongst yourselves. It's very interactive. It's not hard, pushy sales or anything of sorts. But it's very interactive, very humble, and like I say, they're great storytellers. I really enjoyed that a lot. So I think for me, if I could only pick one festival to go back to out of all of these, it would be the one in the States, simply because of the quality of the produce, the atmosphere. It is a rock and roll festival in chili terms.
It's now over in Brooklyn, isn't it?
It's in Brooklyn, so because we went last year.
Yeah.
As well, didn't we? So, and they moved it to the Brooklyn Expo Centre,
right.
which is a slightly bigger venue again, and that really worked.
That's good location.
Really worked. More producers. Yeah. Got to meet some. I mean, for me, the standout one at that festival was Queen Majesty. Queen Majesty sauces. How blinking clever were they?
Yeah.
She only had 2 at the time. I think she's got more now. I can't remember.
She's got a few more.
Yeah, but it was like she did a ginger and habanero one, and also a jalapeno one as well. But I bought those, and they were almost like slightly emulsified with the oil, and oh man, they were so good. So so Erica, I think her name was from memory, but they stood out massively for me. So I want to get more of those. It's worth a trip alone just for that. So cool.
No, well, definitely enjoyed it. And if you're listening out there, go along and try these, and let us know how they are.
Absolutely.
Because it's not just about.
We tend to go on recommendation, don't we? So I mean,
we're invited or whatever. But I think if you're out there, go and experience it, because it is a great experience.
Absolutely.
And some of the events are free to enter, some aren't. However, they're not extortionate. I can't think of really any that I would say,
none of them were too expensive. No. I mean, most of them are cheaper than some of the ones in the UK.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, go if you're thinking about going to chili festivals, do look at the UK ones as well. I mean, the UK is pretty saturated with some, but there are some outstanding ones still in my head. So, it's good. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for listening to us waffle on yet again. It's we're always very grateful that you choose to spend 45 minutes of your time listening to us. So we hope it's been bearable for you. And so we won't make a promise on when the next one will be, because it's as and when we can fit them into our schedule at the moment. But we hope to hear you, speak to you again on the next podcast. So. It's goodbye from me, Jay.
And goodbye from me, ChilliDave.
All right, see you next time.
All right, take care, bye.
Bye.